watching The Circle this Monday morning. Our first guest today is a Golden Globe nominee, a Grammy winner, and one of the biggest names to come out of the American Idol franchise. Please welcome to The Circle country music star, Carrie Underwood. Carrie, I've been listening to your album. It is absolutely fantastic. Now, how do you feel about it? What do you think is the crowning achievement of this record?
Oh, golly. I mean, I like it because I feel like every song is different, and that almost becomes a problem in my world because I just love all kinds of music, and it's got a lot of different kinds of influences in it, and I wrote a lot on it.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it doesn't feel like it's just trying to be a country music album.
No, sometimes I have to wrangle myself back. I love country music. That's my first love, and that's where I grew up, and country music was everywhere. But I also had like teenage sisters when I was little, so I got a lot of like rock, 80s rock influences and stuff like that. So I try to wrangle it all together into one collective thought.
Are you saying you're going to cover a Skid Row song on your next album?
I've actually covered Skid Row in concert.
Oh, my God!
Yeah.
Wow, I love a bit of Skid Row. I must have, yeah.
Psychic. She's a bit psychic. In Australia, I don't think that many people watch the American Idol series that you won because we have our own called Australian Idol. What was that experience like for you?
It was crazy. I mean, I'd never been on a plane before, and I got my ticket to Hollywood and flew by myself for the first time to Hollywood. Was that
scary?
It was horrifying, but it was kind of like now or never, you know, jump off the ledge.
Because you're from Oklahoma, aren't you?
Yeah, so really, really small town in Oklahoma, and I just always loved to sing and tried to keep up with everyone else, and there were a lot of really great people on the show, and ever since then it's been all uphill.
But you are the one who's made the most money out of all of the people who have either been in American Idol. I find that extraordinary. I mean, how do you go from being like, you know, in Oklahoma singing "Oh What a Beautiful Morning"? That's from the musical.
Sing that.
And that's a musical reference. But the kind of musical that I do, not your kind of music. But anyway, Carrie here. Is that how do you go from being that girl to suddenly being this girl looking fabulous, which I'm sure you did in Oklahoma, but I mean with all that money and fabulous.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean there was a lot to do. I'm generally unsure of myself most of the time. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I just roll with it, and I have a lot of great people around me. And
what do you mean by that, Carrie, when you say that's refreshingly honest? What do you mean by you're unsure of yourself?
I mean, there are no rules. There's no book somebody can give you to say, here's how to be a celebrity, you know, or here's how to be in the music business. It's just, you just go with it, pretend you know what you're doing, and surround yourself with good people.
I mean, you obviously come from a small town. Are you close to your family?
I am. My parents still live. There's about 3,500 people. We recently got a couple new stoplights, so the stoplight count is up to 3. So that's exciting.
So how do you make sure when you're navigating your way through this incredible change in your life that you're not surrounded just by yes people and that you are surrounded by people who will keep you real? Has that something that you've had to consider so far?
It's definitely something to be mindful of. My parents want absolutely nothing to do with the entertainment business, but they love their daughter, so you know it's nice to have that support network around me. My husband's wonderful. He does not care what I do, you know, except for when we're going to like a Backstreet Boys concert or something like that. Then he's like, can we get tickets? But other than that, it's just, I don't know, you be mindful of it and just hope that you can trust your instincts.
Can you tell us about being a vegan? When did you make that decision?
Well, I grew up on a farm, and once I learned why we had a farm, that was that. And
really? So from very young?
Yeah, well, from about 13, I quit eating red meat, and then living in Oklahoma, it's almost impossible to be vegetarian. So when I kind of moved away, I was about 21, I became vegetarian, and recently made the switch to vegan because I'm actually kind of like lactose intolerant. So it just.
But your hubby is a meat eater?
He is.
So how does that go?
Yeah, he's Canadian, and they like meat there, so it's all right.
He's an ice hockey player.
He is.
Yeah, so he's a big star over there, isn't he?
He's like, it's so funny because in Canada, like everybody knows his name. We'll go up there and people like want his autograph and completely ignore me.
Yeah.
But you know, we're like in Nashville, and they're like, Carrie Underwood's husband just got traded to Nashville, so he worked so hard like trying to create a name for himself, and there he's he's more my husband, but he's working on that.
Now, Carrie, this is your new album, and as I said, I've been listening to it. The current single is Undo It. I also got to see you acting for your first feature film role in the film Soul Surfer, which I was surprised by how much I liked the film. It's the story, of course, of the girl whose arm is taken by a shark while she's out surfing and her recovery. Your character is quite pivotal in her rehabilitation. Can you describe that process for us?
Yeah, I'd never been in a movie before. I'd done a little TV acting like the week before we filmed the movie, so I didn't have a lot of experience, but everybody on the set was so nice and they helped me out so much. And my character is a friend and kind of like a youth counselor for Bethany and her friends.
Based on a real person, wasn't it? Sarah Hill.
Yeah, and the whole family, Bethany Hamilton's family and Bethany, were on set every single day I was there, making sure that it was, you know, we were telling the story right and doing something that would make them proud. And
did you have to surf?
No, thank goodness. No, I've surfed once, and I actually wasn't terrible at it, but I'm really glad my character did not have to surf.
Faith comes into it a lot in the film and in your character in particular. Do you have faith?
I do. I grew up in church, singing in church, and
wow.
you know, I definitely, that's the whole reason I wanted to do the movie, was because it is a faith-based movie, but it definitely is something everyone can enjoy, you know, and be inspired by it, and you know, not feel overwhelmed by, you know, preachiness. But it's just a great story, and somebody overcoming the worst odds possible, doing the one thing you love, and then having it all but taken away, and everybody says you can't do this, you can't do this, and she found a way to do what she loved.
I can't help but notice when you're so gorgeous and petite, but the size of that rock on your finger.
Oh, we have friends.
Maybe you can hold it up to show. Look at that.
Oh, Kim Kardashian, eat your heart out.
I think she's got me beat, but yeah, we have friends that kind of do this as a hobby, and they got together. They got together with my husband. He did a good job of picking it out.
Well, it's just been such a pleasure to meet you. What a gorgeously refreshing, down-to-earth girl you are. We wish you all the best. Please thank Carrie Underwood for joining us on the show. If the Youngster says it's a cracking album, it is a cracking album. For more information on Carrie's album, you can check out our website. Still to come,